My name is Michelle McAllister and I'm here with my sister Elizabeth. Today we are going to talk about surface anatomy and its clinical applications. This is my card the right way. It is January 26th. So today we've marked some features on Elizabeth with a surgical pen because she is very colorful and has a lot of tattoos and we want to be able to see things clearly. So I want to first look at the thyroid cartilage, which is going to be up here on the front by our thyroid gland. The next thing I want to point out, and this is more of something that if you can't see it, you can palpate it, which is an important part of surface anatomy. You don't necessarily have to be able to see it, but as long as you can feel it, we can use it as a guide for our body systems. So the next one I want to point out is our clavicle. It's right here with our little dot. Perfect. And then up from here, superior, is going to be the surgical marker for our jugular. Now the next thing I want to show you is going to be on the upper limb here. We've got a surgical, can you see our surgical marker for our cubital fossa? And then we've also got a marker on the wrist here that's going to be the head of our ulna. So these are important sites for a multitude of things in the clinical setting. The thyroid cartilage that we looked at first is going to be part of our lymphatic system. It does surround that thyroid gland. Our clavicle is going to be part of the skeletal system. Our external jugular is going to be part of the cardiovascular system. And our cubital fossa, as well as our head of the ulna, are both going to be skeletal. Okay, so the importance of surface anatomy. Surface anatomy is something that is universal. It's something that clinicians can use to serve as points of reference for body structures, superior and deep. It's also something that helps you navigate the body. Most complexes are going to be arranged similarly, so if you can communicate a concept clearly, then surface anatomy is perfect. One of the clinical applications for the sites that we've looked at today, the cubital fossa is an important site because in a clinic that would typically be the preferred site for a blood draw or vein puncture. The head of the ulna, which is covered. The head of the ulna is important because directly across from that is the end of the radius, which you could use to palpate the radial pulse. You can also use it in the carotid near our jugular marker up here, but the radial pulse is going to be something that we're going to use in clinic that is usually pretty accurate. Another thing that we looked at that we didn't get too into detail about is the clavicle and the structure of the ribs, which I would not ask my model to point out, that you can use to determine specific heart sounds. You can use the structure of the rib cage to determine where to place those electrodes and where you can get the best reading for EKGs and for a multitude of cardiac testing.